Hey, Brandon here, host of the Devy Deep Dive podcast and creator of the Devy Dashboard. Welcome to my channel, man, and thanks for tuning in. Got another great freshman profile film here, and today we're going to talk about Mr. Dameon Pierce, running back out of Florida. All right, if you enjoyed this film, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me what you think. I make these films for you to be able to scout your own players, right? I'm going to give you my opinion when we do get to the film room, but nonetheless, these films are made for you so you can scout Dameon Pierce for yourself. A film that's like no other out there on YouTube right now for Dameon Pierce. I know you're going to really enjoy this show. So like I said, feel free to leave a comment, tell me what you think, tell me if you like what I see or if I'm out of my mind, whatever, it doesn't matter. Love interacting with all the comments that I get on this on these film grinds, right? So and also in the film room, man, I got all 22 film, 2 games against Georgia, 1 game against Bama, and 1 game against Tennessee, 3 from 2021 and 1 from 2020. So I like, when I watch running backs, I like watching films against the best competition. So if I can get my hands on some all 22 film against players going against the best competition in the SEC, sign me up. So that is what we're going to see here in the film room very shortly. But nonetheless, let's get to his profile real quick. Before we do that, basically, Dameon Pierce is built very well, 5'10", 218. He is a 4-star prospect. He was 8th ranked in his class 4 years ago. He is a senior. He will be the age of 23 at the draft. So his production profile, I mean, it's one of the things that people are concerned about. Why wasn't he more productive early in his career? Nonetheless, in 2021, he had a great season, 100 carries, 574 yards, averaging 5.7 yards a carry with 13 TDs. So it's kind of put him on the map. Again, he played in the SEC against the better competition. His career market shares aren't great, as you can see from these numbers. Rushing yards only 23%, receiving yards 4.8. That's going to be a knock on his profile. Offensive yardage 12.2, touchdown 17.5. And as you know, throughout his career, we had Pitts there. We had all sorts of Kadarius Toney, other guys in the production as well as in the backfield. So again, from his career market share, he was never that dominant Fed guy. It's always been a very interesting running game kind of in Florida for me, that the fact that they just, kind of never established the run a lot in their running game anyway, or in their offensive scheme. But nonetheless, for 2021, some PFF stats that are always interesting to take a look at. Runs a 15+9. That is pretty on the low end of all the other backs in this class. Walker had 30, Breece Hall had 22. So Dameon Pierce is not going to be that explosive kind of runner, right? He's going to be more of a grinder, a guy who's going to just kind of work in between. I think the tackles is going to be where he wins in the NFL. Yards after contact, 3.65. Again, this is average of the other backs in this class. So Walker was 4.46. Tyler Algier, 4.16. Kyron Williams, 3.71. So you can see he is average to below average of the other backs in this class. Missed tackles, 39. Again, these are forced tackles, missed tackles. These are all stats from PFF. Great website. Again, very much on the low end. Walker had 89. Brian Robinson Jr. had 79. Tyler Algier had 76. So you can see he's maybe not the most elusive guy that we're going to see in this running back class of rookies. In the gap and zone, I'd like to always kind of take a look at this as well to see what kind of versatility they've been used in both offenses. 143 gap and 180 zone. And you're going to see this when we get to the film room, which is nice. So at least he's had some comfortability in both systems, which will be attractive to an NFL franchise. So his 2021 analytical profile, dominator again, he, probably why he's on the map and why a lot of people are looking at him right now, at least in his senior season, 34.8% dominator rating. His weighted dominator leaning more towards yardage versus touchdowns, kind of dropped him a little bit to 24.7%. Run yards per attempt was 1.55. It's a little low. We'd like to see at least a minimum of 2, but nonetheless, so that's not great. But actual 40 time from the combine was 4.59, so that was a weighted adjusted speed score of 98.23. We're kind of looking for something above 100. So like, this guy is not the most bursty guy. He's not the long speed guy. That's not his game. We're going to see that here shortly when we do get to see his film. His BMI is 31.3, which is great. It's the strong part of his game, is the fact that he's got a good lower half. He's strong. He's built well. Good low center of gravity. He can take contact pretty well and continue moving forward and really fights for extra yardage, and we're going to see that here shortly. So really his strengths, he's a physical bruising runner. That's what his game is. He is not an elusive guy, not super elusive and shifty and all that. He's going to be a one-cut guy getting upfield, trying to move the chains, trying to wear down defenses in the NFL. His pass protection is great. One of his better traits that if you do some research on the internet, you're going to find that a lot of people have watched a lot of film on him. His pass protection is good, which is going to be good. He's going to be a security blanket for a quarterback when he is in the game. And he's got low mileage, right? We talked about it. He's got 316 career carries. Some guys get that shit and they're like in 1 year. So he's been relatively healthy, injury free, and he doesn't have a lot of mileage. So he has got he's a young guy who's got some ability to produce for quite a few years in the NFL. His weakness is his burst and long speed. We're going to see that here shortly. He's not a guy that's going to win going around the edge. He's not a guy that's going to take it to the house. He's going to work in between the tackles. That's where his game is. Explosive plays, we just kind of mentioned his lack of forced missed tackles there, and his yards after contact aren't great. So he's not a guy that's going to, again, have these explosive plays. He's more going to be of a grinder type player. In his pass catching, he only had 19 receptions this past year, more than in any other year. So they did involve him his senior year in the passing game. But you know what? That's a weakness that I'm going to mention. But nonetheless, because from a profile for us from dynasty standpoint in PPR leagues, we always love our running backs who can catch passes. So doesn't mean he can't in the NFL, but he's not going to be a vertical guy. He's not going to be a guy that's you're going to throw 20 yards down the field. He's going to be more of a dump-off guy and a guy that's going to be, again, a safety blanket if he goes to a team that doesn't have a running quarterback, a guy who's looking to maybe dump the ball if the pocket collapses nonetheless. But so he did show he looks like pretty natural hands, too. He didn't have any, like, clunker, catches or anything. So, all right, man, let's head over and see what he looks like on the field. All right, welcome to the film room. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I've got 4 games here in all 22 film against Bama, Georgia, and Tennessee. And I recorded basically every play that he was involved with and broke it down into traits, as you guys know. This is going to be a great way for you to scout him yourself, whether you agree with me or not on what I see. But this is a way for you to scout him yourself as you lead into your rookie drafts. All right, if you've seen my other shows, you know the routine. We're going to start with the vision and patience. The lifeblood of every running back, I believe, is what he sees as he approaches the line of scrimmage and making adjustments, the creativity. Let's see what we see here with Pierce, all right? So overall, I think he's got okay vision. He's got good patience, but his vision, I think, is probably just average. Really good play here as he comes through the line of scrimmage, makes a nice, he sees the trash, makes a nice cutback. Again, contact balance, horizontal, kind of shifts, finding his way. So really good vision there, I feel like, going through there. And again, I love how he drags tacklers. It takes 3 guys to get him to the ground. You're going to see that. This kid's built strong from the bottom half, so he can certainly carry some defenders. But here in this particular section, we're looking for vision. Again, Nick makes a little bit wide of a turn there, getting upfield, sees the gap. It closes pretty quickly. But this is what I love about this particular film on him is we got all great defenses he's playing against. So we're really going to be able to see what he sees against these better defenses, right? So let's keep moving on along here. I got lots of clips here, guys. So again, really good cutback there. Lays the boom on that particular play. This looks like also a gap play here. Probably looks like the A gap there, and he comes back into it. Makes, really pushes, punishes that defender, which is great. But again, we're trying to see what does he see on the field. I like the burst that he has up on this particular play. He sees the hole, doesn't waste any time, gets upfield, gets the yardage, and again, takes a couple guys to take him down. But here's where we're going to see some plays with his vision that I think is lacking a little bit. Here, okay, you see how what does he see here, right? So it's great to stop this. He's got the gap right here, right? He's got this space right here to go through, but yet he still goes into the trash here and gets kind of bottled up, which is kind of, again, take a quick look at it. Make the cut. What are you seeing? Look. You got to go to the right? He's got a lane there, but he just follows, thinking he can get to the outside. So again, here's another play here where I feel like he just runs into traffic when he had the ability here. If he was a little bit more patient right here, again, he has, I felt, an angle. He had some, he's got these 2 linebackers here waiting for him. But I felt as though he wasn't patient enough on this particular play. He could have, again, pivoted, and instead he just runs into everyone where I felt he had some ability there to go on a little bit more to the right. All right, here's another play here. Let's see what he sees. Again, really good thing here, but I feel like he left some yardage on the field here again. Let's take a look and stop it. All right, right here. All right, so he's running into here, but he's got this whole lane over here on the right-hand side where I felt like if he was a little bit more patient, he could have, but he just runs into everyone. Where in fact, like right here, he could have, sidestepped, maybe hit the right end and went around, but nonetheless, got two more clips here before we go into the next trait. Let's see what he looks like. Again, little late on this cut. He does some really nice footwork on here, all right, but I think he also, right here, he could have gone right here, right? He sees the hole. If he just had seen that hole and burst it up, I think he could have done it, but a good patience. I can't knock him on this particular play. He cuts back again, shows some decent acceleration, some footwork again. I think he could have continued to run outside there on the outside, but nonetheless, let's take one last shot. Okay, good pivot, goes across, tries to juke that guy. Decent footwork, not the best footwork, but nonetheless, made something out of nothing on that particular play. One last shot here of vision and patience. And then again, I feel like, again, he makes the best of this, but if we look closely, boom, right here. Here's the gap. Here it is right here. And he's looking this, but he's got to look this way over here. He just left that again, just kind of falls in, like the footwork, like the balance. He, continues and, gets 5 yards out of the play. But nonetheless, I think he could have, been a little bit more productive in those shots specifically on if he had just a little better vision. But hey, look at it yourself. Maybe you see it differently, all right? So we're going to talk about his footwork and lateral movement, right? I think that he's a really shifty guy for his size. I think he's got some good footwork. I think he's got some good lateral ability. Not elite, but good enough, I think, to play a role as a backup running back in the NFL. All right, so again, he gets the ball here. Nice pivot there. Makes that guy miss, which is great. And then again, shows some, footwork, not the best footwork, little pitter patter on that. And, you'd like to see more of maybe a dead leg, but nonetheless made the guy miss, got extra yardage. It's all you can ask for. Made the guys miss. So that was a really, really nice play. All right, let's look at his footwork. All right, really good footwork on this play. All right, we're going to go back again. Shifty, he's got his face, he's looking forward. He's, again, looking, navigating, and really like the footwork on here. He does have some good footwork and nimble feet, quick pitter-patter footwork. Then he's off the races, showing some decent burst on the outside. All right, so again, like the stutter step move, trying to create space. That's what running backs have to do in the NFL, man. They've got to create space for themselves, just like wide receivers. Really nice play on here. Nice dead leg. That was probably one of the better plays. Seeing his ability with his footwork is pretty good right here. All right, let's keep going. All right, what does his footwork look like? Nice dead leg there. Nice spin move. Another really good play. Get good vision on here. Cuts back inside. He's got to make this guy miss. Spin moves work, not all the time, but here he got 3 or 4 extra yards after contact. All right, again, just looking at his footwork here. This is more, little clumsy on the footwork here. Again, he just seems like he, as he increases speed, his footwork, tightness might be, a little bit more tight, might not be as loose, but nonetheless, he made some shifty moves there to get around the defenders. So again, here on this particular play, I don't think, it doesn't show a lot of burst. I mean, an acceleration when he does kind of come to a stop like that, but nonetheless, he keeps his feet moving and gets 4 or 5 yards, 3 or 4 yards on this particular play. Right here he goes in, nice cutback. Thought this was a really good play on his part. And it looks like an outside stretch zone play to some degree. Comes back inside, and again, just nice pitter-patter steps. Boom, inside, cuts back inside. So again, a lot of these could be, in the vision section or whatever. So again, this is just a great scouting film for you to really take a look at this guy. And I'd encourage you when you do this, use the pause button, use your space bar on your computer and pause these things and see what he sees. Just like what I'm doing on my space bar. You can pause these films and say, what does he see? What does he see? And as he goes upfield. But again, that is a nice footwork on that last play. So got a few more traits here. Let's take a look at his burst and speed. I think he's not the most bursty guy, as we talked about earlier in the show. I don't think he's going to win running outside, to be honest with you. But again, just these clips are here just to what kind of burst does he have when he makes his decision through the line of scrimmage? What kind of burst does he have? going through these holes that we see. I'm going to be running through these, so this film isn't too long, but nonetheless, you can kind of see he runs to the outside. He does bounce to the outside a lot in these 4 particular games. I don't think that's where he's going to win, but nonetheless, he's not super slow, but he's not fast either. But he did get tracked down there pretty quickly. So that, like in the NFL, that's not where he's going to be winning. Like I think on outside stretch zone plays, I think this guy's more a vertical north-south kind of runner, one-cut runner who goes, up the field. But again, just going to see what kind of burst does he have, when he sees the hole running through here. We're going to go through these clips for you to take a look. All right, like I said, he's not a guy who's going to win on the outside. All right, here he's trying to escape on the outside, and just again, I don't think he's a guy that's going to win on the outside. Shows some good burst here around the corner. One of his plays that we've seen a lot on Twitter, again. But, again, you can examine his speed running through here. Shows a nice outside burst, goes outside. Continue to watch just what he looks like going, around the edge. It's a really good play, I thought. Shows a little burst there going around the edge, huh? Makes a nice play here. Again, go back, look at this. Makes a nice cut, makes that guy miss, which is important. And then, again, doesn't have a leap, bursty edges going out, around the edges. But nonetheless, that's not his game. Like I said, he is a north-south runner. Now, this guy's built like a brick, right? So I think he's got good contact balance. This is a really good play. This is where he's going to win in the NFL. This is the kind of, he played like we talked about earlier in the show, 50-50 pretty much gap, zone kind of scheme, right? So he's got experience in both, which is nice, but he's going to be a north-south runner where I think he's going to be, someone who's going to have to go up in the middle of the field through the line of scrimmage and really win through physicality and toughness, just like this particular play. But he's got great strength, solid, again, just shedding contact is the name of the game. So in this particular play, gets blown up. I mean, he's got a loaded box here with linebackers. It's a loaded box, 8 on the box. He basically gets that guy to miss, sheds that contact, kind of loses his balance here, but nonetheless, driving forward, showing that strength that he has going through these plays. Again, great shedding contact there, little stiff arm, lowers the boom. Nice play by that defender, putting him, back. But again, thought this was a really nice play. Again, just, sheds the tackle from that big defensive tackle right there. Nice stiff arm. All right, boom. So this is what his game is to me in the NFL. He is a physical bruising runner who's going to win by running, right inside, in between, not really running to the outside, but inside. But again, just showing, again, the contact, the ability to shed contact. Look at the footwork. Look at everything when you watch these, man. I put this together for everyone to watch these films so you can come to your own conclusion. I'm just giving you my opinion, but you're not going to find another film out here on YouTube that's going to have a breakdown like this against this good competition for you to kind of make your decision yourself, right? So look at this again. What kind of contact does he have? Right there. Kind of lost his balance. But nonetheless, like I said, I've got of all 4 of these games, this is every run that he made in these 4 games. So I've kind of chopped them up into different traits. But again, shows some really good contact there. Look, I like how he does, sheds the contact. 3 or 4 guys to take him down. Would he get 4 or 5 extra yards on that play after contact? Now, we saw that his after contact, compared to other backs in this class, wasn't as good as the other backs, but he's about average. But he shows some physicality on these runs, man. So, I mean, he's going to be an attractive running back for an NFL franchise based just on his build and his, played in the SEC, and he had a really good senior season. So, again, just showing his physicality here on this play. And then we're going to get to his last trait here in a second on pass catching. It doesn't show a lot of bursts going through that hole, but nonetheless, you can see it takes an army to get him to the ground. So pass catching, again, he's used mostly out of the flat, nothing really flashy down the field. This is how he's going to be used. So this is one knock on his profile, is his ability to, catch the ball. He had, 19 receptions, I think we said, 17, 19 receptions. Good cut there, making that guy miss. That was really sweet right there. And then again, trying to get around him, jumping over someone is probably not his game. But again, here he is just used out in the flat. And again, he only had 3 receptions out of these 3 games, and I've included them all here just so you could see, good pass, good reception right there. The adjustment, that's a good, he looks comfortable catching the ball. He just wasn't used a lot. That's all. So So there you have it, man. That is basically the profile of the film grind on Dameon Pierce. Like I said in summary, I think he's got a good build. He's got some decent lateral ability, some good footwork. I think he's got okay vision. I think he's going to be a tough decision. When you're looking at the bigger backs in this class, where you take him, it'll be interesting to see where he lands. So, hope you enjoyed the film grind, man. Enjoy it. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about NFL draft capital for Dameon Pierce. Where do we think he's going to get drafted? Me personally, I think he's going to be a day 3 guy, an early day 3 pick, round 4, round 5. I don't see him going in the second day. So what about our rookie drafts, right? Well, landing spot's probably going to matter a little bit, but I'm thinking he's a 3rd round, mid to late 3rd round pick. After the top 3 running backs are off the board in your rookie draft, it is wide open. So whoever's picking in front of you, man, they could like Dameon Pierce. It could be Tyler Algier. It could be Brian Robinson, Zamir White, right? All these guys are about the same size. They all have the ability to be chosen, I'm thinking, starting in the 3rd round. As far as a dynasty projection, I think he's going to be an RB2 or 3 on an NFL team. I think he is going to be a backup. I don't see him getting drafted and getting early opportunity. Now, look, there could be an injury. There could be, some other things happening where he gets an opportunity, and we'll have to see what he does with that opportunity. But as far as an RB, I think he's not going to be coming out of the gate as a consistent option on our dynasty team. He's a depth piece that he's going to be on your bench, a late rookie round selection when we all have our fingers crossed that he gets an opportunity. If in fact you draft him, that he gets an opportunity to play. So, all right, man, there you have it. I hope again you enjoyed the film grind. Gives you a better idea of what his traits really look at with those angles on that all-22 film. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with what I see? Do you have any thoughts? Let's discuss. So, man, leave a comment, and I appreciate you watching.